Now, yeah. Okay, great. So let's just take a moment, like we did last night with Rimshi, to, just be in the presence of these incredible statues, the energy that they embody. As Rimshi said, we want to, the whole point of Buddha's practice is to go beyond where we are karmically right now, go beyond our karmic view self, and ideally, achieve all the qualities and realizations that these holy beings embody, especially in the context of the Tara retreat, focusing on Tara as the main yidam, to embody all those feminine qualities, enlightened wisdom and compassion, enlightened activity. So even before, when I went to a teaching with Yangtze Rimshi, he said it's always good it behooves us to, just even if we take a moment to remember the qualities that they embody, the place where we want to go, not just sort of by rote, coming in and doing prostrations, especially in the context of retreat. So we are gurus, what qualities particularly inspire us, or with the yidams, the deities, what qualities do we want to move into in our spiritual practice, go beyond these what karmic limitations we have right now to reach to that space, just connecting with that for a moment. And also, as Rimshi said, this mudra, so Lama Zopa Rimshi was promoted endlessly, this practice of just putting our palms together. Rimshi mentioned as well, Yangtze Rimshi, about communicating with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We can't communicate completely on their level right now, but we can communicate just in basic ways with our body, showing reverence and respect, opening up that faith that Rimshi talked about as well, moistening our mind with faith as we prostrate, thinking about their qualities, and, putting the palms together at the heart, left hand signifying wisdom. May I and all beings, as we put our palms together, develop this precious mind, wisdom, realizing emptiness. May I and all beings develop the method side of the path, bodhicitta. And then the two fingers inside, may we all especially awaken this mind of bodhicitta, We hold all beings with this mind of bodhicitta, like we see in the incredible examples of our gurus. And then we prostrate to all their qualities, all their realizations. That's our communication with them right now, our body, our speech, our mind. And we do the mantra together. Om Namo Manjushri Namasu Nama Utamashi Soha. Om Namo Manjushri Namasu Nama Utamashi Soha. Om Namo Manjushri Namasu Nama Utamashi Soha. So when I asked Rimshi, what meditations shall we do for this retreat, it was pretty, not much. I was like, could I get a bit more, I thought it'd be a practice or, it's like, no. just students have to empty their minds. Yeah, so what I thought we're going to try to do, is empty our minds. Easy, right? And then just a little bit of, towards the end, touching on some of the points that Rimshi made last night, just going over them in a sort of more reflective state, deeper state. Can you hear me, George? Yeah, okay, good. So anyway, definitely Rimshi said to do some shamatha, so we're just going to bring our minds into the body, connecting with the body first. Taking a couple of long, deep breaths. We always need to do that, clearing the airs in the body, in the mind, gross and subtle body, airs. From Tantra, we know that the teachings on Tantra, the mind is supported by wind elements, so we need to take care of that as well. As Rimshi said, meditation, spiritual practice is about gradually going beyond the limits of our karmic self. So we have these incredible aspirations to achieve enlightenment, become a bodhisattva, achieve the 6 perfections, but we need to work with the material we have right now, a gradual transformation. So one way, just again, to turn to sort of create that space for transformation is settling the mind, kind of disengaging. We can't completely unsubscribe from the Netflix channel in our mind. Rimshi said, very hard just to say, I think I'll just unsubscribe, from the movie of our lives, It's not easy, whether it's a drama or it's the war movie, a love movie, love story. I'm in this great love story right now. I'm in a war, or I'm in, sorry, family drama. Which channel are we on? So it's really true, We create these different, we're our own producer. We produce the programs. And then they play out either later in this life, in future lives. That's what we're doing all the time. We're mind. So we can't completely switch off for that, unsubscribe just by a flick of a button, pressing something on the computer. But we gradually step back to that movie, gradually disengage by bringing our mind into, first of all, the body, awareness of the coming into the body a little bit, disengaging slightly for thoughts as we scan through the body. Starting at the crown of the head. With awareness and breath, they're flowing together. Just releasing tension. We're just settling into the retreat environment. So we need to just release tension, clinging mind at the beginning. Disengage from movie channel. A little bit going through the body, the breath and awareness. Breathing into the brow, just releasing tension around the brow and the eye. Just hold ourselves, something there, some thoughts, some anxiety, just some sort of clingy energy. Breathe in, without any judgment, just release, and we're giving ourselves a massage, the body and mind. Moving through the jaw, back of the throat, with kindness, as Rimshi said. Some of us have it already, but this kind environment where we meditate, where we be with ourselves, our karmic view self, be with that kindly, clearly. Gently allowing the moisture that we feel today, just the moisture, our breath and awareness through the neck and shoulder. Opening up the shoulders a little bit more, if you can, opening up the chest. Down through the spine. As we go down, we can just check our posture, you know. Spine straight, flared like an arrow, from the sit bones all the way up to the crown. Kind of energy, but flexible. Flexibility there. Straighten that with breath and awareness. Space and movement around the spinal area. Making it clear and strong, you know, like moving down into the tummy area. Allowing the breath just to a little bit deeper as we go inward. A few breaths in that area, just releasing muscle tension, allowing it to soften and open. We inhale and exhale, soften, open, relax. We inhale, we can also combine it with, may I be happy. May I become good friends with myself if we haven't already. Or develop a deeper friendliness with myself. And may all beings, each one of us here, develop that. A deep enjoyment in meditation. Being with ourselves. Forming this karmic view ourselves on the cushion. Then being with the sit bones on the cushion, sit bones solidly there on the chair, on the cushion. Maybe supporting the upper part of the body for meditation. It's like we need the water of devotion, faith. She used that analogy. It moistens our mind. We also need to find this earthiness, this wholesome place, you know, where we're friends with ourselves, you know, earthy quality. that connects in a kind way, but skillful way with our own suffering. Our karmic surprises, as Rimshi calls them, come up. We approach them in an earthly way, wholesome and in supportive way to transform them. And bringing the massage, all the way through the legs, tips of the toes. So we cover the whole body with this energy, breath and awareness, gentleness, clarity. Before we start being with the awareness on an object, shamatha, concentration, placement, aims for it. It's always helpful to clear the winds a little bit more by doing the 9-round breathing exercise. So bringing the first finger, the left hand, closing off the right nostril. Again, long, slow, deep inhalation through the left. Feeling in, we're drawing in all the energy and the blessing as well of this place to support our mind in this retreat. Receiving all the blessing of all the holy beings. Fills our whole DNA, all our cells, as we inhale. And then moving the finger and exhaling what's limiting us right now. We were stuck. Like clouds or smoke, dissolving into the sky, the air, just into nothing, completely disappearing. So we do 3 times, inhaling. That blessing energy. The special quality of this place, blessed by so many beings. Allow that to seep in and exhale our limitations, anything painful, challenging right now. 3 times. And on when you're ready on the other side, same again. And 3 times both nostrils. But deeper into the belly area. The blessings are seeping through not just the sort of heavier doors of gross minds, but also subtle, very subtle consciousness, touching all those levels of our being, wherever we can feel as we inhale. So now we mind a little bit clearer, it's more spacious. Just start to bring our mind to the object of our awareness that we want to hold on, sit with, be with, whether it's the tip of the nostrils, the sensation, the process of the inhalation and exhalation at that area, whether it's the inhalation and exhalation going in and out at the level of the abdomen, We're going to sit with one of those places, or if you have another object that you use to settle the mind, well, you can use that right now. We're going to do about 7, 8 minutes, have a break and do the same again. So like, we can't completely, just before we start, you can't completely disengage, as I said, from our YouTube channel, Netflix. But imagine the thoughts, the movie, our life, kind of going on in the background right now. We can't stop it, but we can sort of turn the volume down a little bit, maybe. Or just imagine we're at home and the TV's going on, but we're doing something else like that. But we hear it in the background. Thoughts are playing away in the background, but we're just doing something else. We're more focused, gently but firmly, on that object. We're more interested in what's going on there, holding that interest and curiosity there and just allowing the thoughts to play in the background. More like that, we try. We do 7, 8 minutes. So let's just take a short second, 1 minute break before we do another 5, 6 minutes. Being gentle with your mind, not pushing it. Short sessions. Type of. So one benefit about this practice as well, as Rimshi said, you get tired almost over samsaric minds. In daily life, they make us tired. But when we're sitting on the cushion, we need to, sort of develop a tiredness from them and engage. So we engage in virtue, engage in transformation. That's more interesting. Or like watching on Netflix, a boring movie. We can just label the thoughts if we get tangled in them. When we do, you can say they're just boring, tiring, and go back to the object of the breath. As we develop meditation, concentration, the mind gets more and more peaceful. That element of peace, satisfaction starts to come, and that's much more interesting and engaging. We just need to get that place in this practice. Maybe there in the beginning, so we need to label whatever movie is going on, thoughts, just give it a label, friction, boring, attachment, or even a drama. Just one or two labels, not to get overly involved, and go back to the object. Slowly, and connecting with that feeling of peace that starts to come as our concentration develops. So we'll do another 5 minutes. I want to just check the body again before you go in, see where the tension's built up. Usually in familiar places, we get familiar with that the more we meditate, where we cling a little bit more in the body, release and relax kindly with the breath, and go back to the object. Okay, so just letting go of wherever we are right now in the med, being in the body again. For the last few minutes, forming our motivation. Try to tap into some of the topics that Rimshi mentioned last night, something there. So the other advice Rimshi gave me to do for this meditation, these meditations, was to, try to bring about this kind of appetite. What we need is an appetite for the Dharma. So try to bring that about. So that was like a little bit of a riddle in a way. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but so so anyway, empty the mind, and so we have this appetite for the Dharma, this hunger. Like, I don't know if somebody else done Noonday, fasting retreat, where for one day, much practice, but we don't eat or drink. So the next day, 36 hours, no water, no food. I think it's almost 2 days of no water and food and doing lots of practice. So the tea, as Rimshi said, the tea that you have, the first tea you have that morning is so delicious. That's the kind of experience we want to have when we reflect, hear the Dharma. It's like so tasty. So how do we have that? Sometimes we have moments of that, but then it just washes over us. Hold on to that tastiness of the Dharma all the time. So how do we create that sort of hunger in ourselves, that appetite? So Rimshi touched on, there's this uncertainty that we need to be aware of in our lives. This impermanent flux that's going on moment by moment. And in particular, the death. Death is knocking on our door. Like we're in a room, the room of our own karmic view. But there's a knocking going on all the time at the door, but we don't want to answer that. We're a bit fearful of what's at the other side of the door. So we don't want to hear it, we just let it be kind of thing. It's a bit like that with death, that meditation, that thought. Hard to really embrace it. In this tradition, there's the 9-point death meditation, 3-point, there's all these points to go over to bring about this uncertainty, feeling that death can happen at any moment. You don't know what's, a few steps ahead of us really in this life. So I heard about a week ago, somebody I know was diagnosed with 6 months to live. And I just thought, wow, if that was me, that thought of uncertainty just came up in that moment. If that's me, so imagine you have this nagging pain in your back or your stomach, you're experiencing problems digestion, or something's going on. You feel quite deeply, with one area of your body, but you haven't addressed it, but you decide to go to the doctor eventually because it's not moving. But anything you do yourself to shift it, it's not moving. It's been going on for a few months. One of the quickest ways to get to experience of that uncertainty is like imagining going to the doctor and they give you a certain months to live. That's possible to get that experience. Imagine that. like in that moment, our life turns upside down and back to front. There's a fear and there's an intense awareness of what's important. It's really just the care of the mind. It's the care, taking care of our karmic self in a deeper way right now as we face, as we've opened that door, you know, that knocking, that door's opened whether we like it or not. And we have to face the passage of the bardo, that experience of death. I think that appetite for the Dharma comes, that hunger, when we're in that space all the time. The door's always open. We know the consciousness needs to leave this life. Or we have an intense awareness of that. It's uncertain. It's like that's the ground for transformation. So see if we can hold that thought, you know, that feeling of death being closer rather than distant, that door being open rather than closed, or facing it full on in that uncertainty. And then we hear Rinpoche's teaching. See if it deepens our faith and devotion to Tara. We need someone, something to support us through that process. We need that deep spiritual nourishment. Okay. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum, is that better? Mani Padme Hum. Om Tari Tutari Turi Soha. Om Tari Tutari Turi Soha. Okay. Sounds a bit better, a bit clearer.